Hello, welcome. I'm Diablo, and today I'm bringing you episode number 5 of my FPL Road to Glory. Today we're going to talk about tips and mistakes. Tips and common mistakes that I'm clearly making, probably will continue to make, but I thought, you know what? Hopefully I can help you not make the same silly errors I seem to be making. So one of my favourite movies is The Last Samurai. And there's a reference in there. There's two references. Johnny Good, which I do love, and of course, Too Many Mind. And the FPL gives you too many mind. Oh my days. It just gives you too many mind. So, what are we going to start with? We'll start with a tip. We're going to go with calm. Stay calm. 38 weeks. Marathon, not a 100-metre dash. You can adapt to any situation within the coming 38 weeks of the FPL. Don't treat it like a sprint. Don't chase last week. Don't look to next week. Not just next week. You've got to look further. We'll get to that. But do not chase last week. The reason I say this is, even in my own mind, I've been weighing up the odds. When I've been doing draft squads, writing them down, I've been thinking to myself, what if they don't actually do what I want them to do? What do I do then? And my first response is, make changes. No. Stay calm. Adapt. 38 weeks. Marathon. I literally have to tell myself that it's going to become like a little chant that I'm going to have to do on a weekly basis. I think every time the FPL week is over, it's just going to be stay calm, marathon, adapt. It's ridiculous, but yes, honestly, stay calm is definitely going to be the main focus. The next one that I'm finding myself doing, this one's a mistake. Fantasy. No, for all of you thinking only fans, no, come on. Though that would be hilarious. No. Fantasy. Don't pick good players. Pick fantasy players. Players who will give you what you need. That's fantasy points. Example, Declan Rice. Fantastic player. We can all agree that. We can all agree Declan Rice is a fantastic player. Same as Kare. Fantastic player. Both players really do help their clubs tick-tock. But, always has to be a but. They're not going to give you the return as fantasy players. You've got to look outside of that. A point perspective, it's going to be awful. You've got to pick players. You've got to do research. I think that's the easiest way to put it. You have to research. You have to look at how you earn points. So looking at the point system, looking at the players, doing a little bit of research. Don't have to do a massive amount of research, but just don't pick players like Kare or Declan Rice. You know they're not going to get you points. It's that simple. Definitely don't pick Harry Maguire. Christ, I think he'll end up losing you points. Own goals, yellow cards, he's not going to get you any points. But yeah, definitely. On the fantasy level, it's all right. We can all pick a good team. I've done it. My first draft was fantastic. Absolutely magnificent. If I was playing FM22, I would have been sitting there as King Ding-a-ling. On a fantasy perspective, though, when I added up all the points, not the brightest idea I've ever had in my life. So, yeah, definitely. Look into it. Don't just go with players that you would love to see in your team. Like Kare and you like your Declan Rices, and don't get me wrong, I didn't put Harry Maguire in. I may be stupid, but I'm not that stupid. The next one we're going to talk about is planning. Now, I look at the FPL, and there's going to be 3 types of players. You can't be bothered. I'm going to give it a good go, but I'm really bad. And your absolute machine pros. And the absolute machine pros are built around planning. We all need to be built around planning. We need to plan our deadline dates. We need to make time, a little bit of time. I'm not talking hours, I'm not talking days, I'm talking a bit of time. Anything from say 15 to 45 minutes a week to look over your team, look at the results, look at the statistics, and plan the next coming week. You've got to. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure. You really, really are. Look at important match dates. It depends if you want to take the game seriously, to be fair. If you don't want to take the game seriously and just literally wing it, and that works for you, gravy. I hope it does work for you. I wish I could do that. I wish I could just have that sixth sense just to literally know everything. But I'm not that smart. I'm going to have to take it a little bit serious. I'm not going to go gun-ho serious. I'm not going to spend hours delving into the mechanics of every statistic. I know there's probably a lot of players out there. I mean, how do you come number one in the world out of God knows how many million people taking part? You've got to have some serious dedication. For me, Season 1 is that benchmark. Whatever I do in Season 1, I have to better in Season 2, and that's the way I'm always going to look at it. What I do in Season 1, I have to better in Season 2. What I do in Season 2, I have to better in Season 3. Until you hit like that plateau of, I don't know, you fall back, then you have to start from scratch and just wonder why you're so useless. But no, on a serious basis, planning. You've got to plan those dates. You've got to look out for those game week dates. You've got to remember how many minutes you have before a game kicks off on that week. Yes, it's 90 minutes, come on. You've got to plan. You've got to plan. Planning is definitely one tip I can give you. And that's something I'm going to build everything around. Obviously, it's going to be my planning, my strategy, etc. Lastly, we're going to finish with chips. Now, you've already seen, hopefully, you may not have, but hopefully you've watched my chip system video. And I've got to be honest, they are fun. They look great fun. They're not all game changers, definitely not, but there's a few cards that are really, really important. Like, let's be honest, the triple captain. Look at double game weeks. When you get that double game week, that's the triple captain week. I'm not saying the first one, you could wait till after the World Cup and look at it that way, you know, when it gets to the nitty-gritty part of the season. Especially, it greatly depends how the season's going to pan out. How do you think the football season's going to pan out? Do you think City are going to walk away with it? Do you think it's going to be a walk away with City-Liverpool? Do you think Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham are going to be holding on to the coattails? Do you think West Ham are going to be really pushing yet again? Do you think United are going to be literally just underneath West Ham and scrapping around that area? Do you think Newcastle are going to come through? You know, there's so many different variables. You know, are Villa going to do well? You know, Gerrard gets a full pre-season with them. Can he, you know, integrate what he done at Rangers and, you know, fully get him to commit to that style, that way, with the players he's bringing in? You know, there's so many different variables. So you've obviously got to, again, I'm going to go back to planning. It's that simple. But the chips are going to be important because they're free bonus points that you can get. Timing has to come into it as critical, but look, that's just life. We don't know how to time it. You're either going to be lucky or you're not. It's that simple. But with the triple captain, definitely look at the double game weeks with your wild card. That one I don't even know how to judge yet. I've got things in my mind, but the biggest problem I have is I doubt myself. I don't know until I'm in the mix of it. I can't really say. It's definitely one of those. I can't wait for the season to actually start. I'm so excited yet apprehensive about how much I'm going to literally screw this up. Anyway, I'm going to bring it to an end there. Hopefully some of those tips have helped you. Hopefully you can understand my potential pain and my continuous pain. And as normal, until next time,